army. Now it looks pretty bleak. Henry V's English army at Agincourt is at best maybe 6,000 men, but they're poorly equipped, they're riddled with illness, they're a long way from home, morale is rock bottom. The French army gathered to face them is rumoured to be huge, somewhere in the region of 40,000 men, heavily armed, home advantage, they know they're going to win. And yet somehow, against all the odds, Henry V's English army triumphs. They destroy the French forces to the extent that the French king's left totally powerless. Anything Henry V now wants to demand, the French king's got to give it to him. He's got no option. So the first thing he asks for is the most obvious thing. He asks to be made heir to the French throne. He gets that promise. But the second thing he asks for is a bit different. It's our first big coincidence leading to Henry VIII. Because the French king has a beautiful young daughter called the Princess Catherine de Valois, and Henry V asks for her hand in marriage. And again, the French king's in no position to say no. So Henry V eventually arrives back in England to a hero's welcome. Conqueror of the French, beautiful French princess upon his arm as his new wife. Not a bad shopping trip in anyone's book, I think you'll agree. Now, they are soon blessed with a child, a healthy baby boy that they also call Henry. He's going to be the future Henry VI. You'll find at this point in English history, most things that are male, can walk upright, have got two legs and are royal, are usually called Henry. Hang on to that information, you might need it later. Okay? Now, unfortunately, that's where their luck more or less runs out. Only a few short years after the glory of Agincourt, Henry V's back over in France having yet another dust up with the French when he catches a horrible disease, dysentery. If you pardon the pun, he comes to a sticky end. I just want to warn you, the jokes don't get any better than that. If you want to leave or start drinking heavily, I really don't blame you for doing that. So, poor old Catherine is now widowed. She's aged only 21. She's living in England, to her a completely foreign country, added to which she's got this tiny baby to bring up all by herself. And even though the child is only 9 months old, he's already King of England. He's King Henry VI. Now, Catherine is a lonely, beautiful young lady. She did what any lonely, beautiful lady should do. She got herself a boyfriend. Yes. Except the man she chose to be her boyfriend was a commoner, an ordinary man off the street. Now, that sort of thing doesn't really happen with royal families now. In those days, big no-no. It'd be the modern equivalent of Prince William suddenly just ditching Kate Middleton and running off into the sunset with Gemma Collins. You're not a very nice group, are you? I did the WI in Kent a few nights back. I did that joke and they all went, who? Gemma Collins. So, now, the man she chose to be her boyfriend was a man called Owen Tudor. Do we recognise that surname? Thank the Lord for that. Now, Owen Tudor had been a sergeant in Henry V's army. He'd been one of Henry V's personal bodyguards, which is how he managed to get so physically close to the royal family in the first place. Now, Owen and Catherine have got to keep this quiet. Anybody finds out about them, they're going to be in big trouble. And do you know what? They kept it brilliantly quiet, because they managed to get married and produce 4 children before anybody found out about them. I don't think that today with the modern press, but there you go. Now, by the time Henry VI does find out, he's a teenager. And we know what teenagers are like, don't we? They're horrible, they're smelly, they're spotty, they're greasy, they grunt when they talk to you, they empty your fridge overnight when you're not looking. I know, I've got one. But this one's worse, because this one's not only royalty, he's also a teenager and he's a snob. And he's so horrified that his mother has basically shacked up with a squaddy from his father's own army that he decides to punish them both.